Hey guys, welcome back. In the last episode we made a walk animation for this guy. We made it so he could walk to the right. What we're going to do in this video is make it so that he can walk up and down, and then we're going to add those controls in so he can move around. And the first thing we're going to want to do is copy this walk cycle and flip it so he walks to the left. So right click, duplicate. I'm going to rename this first one walk right, but with my caps lock off. And I'm going to rename this one walk left. And all I'm going to do with this one is get every single frame, and I'm going to click on this little button here which flips him, because he's going to look the same whether he walks to the right or the left. And you can hit play and you can see that he's doing his little marchy walk all the way to the left. Now we're going to right click and duplicate this again and call this one walk up. And this is where we need to start doing some pixel art. So we need to put him in a forward facing profile facing away from us. And like I did in the other episodes, I'm going to start with just the middle section of his body. So I'm going to draw that down there and do that down there. He's not going to have hands to the back of him, so we're going to do that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and color the whole block in like this, and the back of his head is pretty much going to be just hair. So let's get that yellow color there, and we're going to fill that in. We're going to have some ears poking out on either side. I think that would be quite nice. There's a slight difference now where these are landing, so let's go ahead and do that. The bottom part of his neck here would be shaded because of the hair. And I'm going to shade the bottom part of his ears as well. And that's a pretty good start for the base of the animation. Now his hair is going to be slightly different because this is his side profile hair. So we go to walk left and then he goes to walk up. You can see the hair doesn't really change, which it would if he's twisting his body. Now this bit here is right at the top, so as this moves around, this will be in the middle. So we're going to need the middle to almost be like a bit of a peak, like this. And the front is going to be a bit of a peak, which will be at the front there. And now the middle part is also kind of poking up, so it's going to be almost a bit like a crown. And I think I'm going to, just for imperfection, so it's not completely symmetrical, I'm going to make that little change just to the side of it there. And then in terms of the shading, I'm just going to shade in a nice little patch in the middle. And I'm going to do the base of it there, just the dark. And probably just in the sides there where the hair might be overlapping. Now the highlights on the body, he's going to have highlights on his shoulders. I'm going to continue to do one leg dark and one highlighted, just for contrast. Now we need to put in his arms, so let's go ahead and get the hands, because with limbs and appendages I like to start with the furthermost point of the appendage, and his arms are going to march. So if you look at him walking to the left, his arms swing quite dramatically, and I want that to be the same when he's walking up. So we're going to have one hand quite high and one hand quite low, and one of these is going to be to the back and one of them is going to be to the front. So I'm going to start with the upper hand to the front, and I'm going to make that one half as thick because the other half will be here in front of his body. Now if I put it there and I want to outline it, I'm going to have to do this, and that's going to create a double pixel there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it slightly to there, and I'm going to do that, and then for the other side I'm going to do that and make it behind him and do that. Now one of his legs is going to be up and one of his legs is going to be down. So if his left hand is forward, I'm going to lift his right leg up, and all I'm going to do that is just remove the bottom 2 pixels from the leg. Now I'm going to go ahead and delete the rest of these, And I'm going to go and duplicate that one. And now all I'm going to do is reverse this frame. So I'm going to go and delete the bottom 2 legs there. I'm going to move this hand down to there. I'm going to move this hand up to there. You can see now he's kind of swinging his arms. So one gets bigger as it comes back, one gets smaller as it goes forward. And if I play that on the loop, you can see he's kind of running. It doesn't look great as it is right now because the top part of the body isn't moving, so it looks a little bit weird, and he's also going a bit too fast. So we're going to need to put the in-between frames in now. So we've got one at the front end, one at the back end. So I'm going to right-click and duplicate and put a middle frame in here. And the middle frame is going to be where his arms are by his side. And we're going to meet somewhere in the middle for this one. And his feet are going to be on the floor. And if I right click and duplicate that and put it to the other side there, and then hit play, you can see he's walking a little bit more now, a little bit more naturally. So you can see he's got the left walk there, and then the walk up there. So it's starting to look a little bit better. If anything, this one's a little bit slower, I think, but I don't know if that's just because I need to exaggerate the hands more. Maybe stick that one behind him more. There you go, now he's swinging his arms quite a lot more, which is quite nice. We might need to speed this one up slightly because the left one, I don't know, we can look at that later. Right, let's get the head movement. So it looks like he's rotating his body. So he's swinging one arm back, which means I think I'm going to take the whole head here on this frame and I'm going to move it to the side. And then for this frame, I'm going to move it to that side. Now, one thing I don't like about the Construct engine is when you start grabbing blocks of pixels and moving them, if you look at the viewing window down here, sometimes it doesn't put them in, and that means that we might be in danger of losing them if we come out of the sprite. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the whole image there. And you can see it's done the same thing there. So I'm going to copy the whole image, I'm going to come out, go back in, and then you can see there that the heads are missing. So I'm going to paste that one back in there. I'm going to copy that whole head again, Control C, and I'm going to paste it back in there. There you go, now he's moving his head. What I do want to get rid of though is these dark pixels here. His shoulder isn't going to be highlighted here anymore. It's going to be over on the left there. Same thing with this one. Switch that over there. And I also want to add in the up and down movement of his head. Now, I'm not going to do that by just grabbing the head and dropping it down, although you could do that, but we can do it the same way by just animating the hairline. So when he is got one leg in the air, he's going to be taller. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the bottom hairline away from that there. I'm going to drop that one down so it looks like his head is dipping forward at the front. And I'm going to bring the collar up there. There you go. It looks like he's kind of nodding his head now, which is good. That's what we want. Then he's upright here, so he's nice and tall. And then on this side, he's going to be nodding his head again. So I'm going to start by moving the hairline up, move the shoulders up. So it looks like he's shrugging a little bit. Move the indent of his hair up slightly, take the top off, level that off, put in the little gap there, and there you go. Now he's kind of nodding to the side as he's swinging his arms, he's marching his feet. The last thing we need to do now is add in some of this shading to his back. Now the arm, when it swings back, is going to create shade through there, and then when he is got his arms together, we'll just put a nice block of shading in the back there, and then the same thing when his other arm comes back. And then what we'll do is we'll just copy that frame out again and move it to the side. There you go, now his kind of shading is moving as his arms are swinging, so it's giving you an idea that his arms are swinging forwards and backwards. When he swings this arm forward, this arm backwards, the elbow is going to probably be highlighted there. And I'm going to highlight the tops of those there. And there's my guy, that's him walking forwards. And walking backwards is a very, very similar thing. We just got to flip the facial features around, but we're going to go ahead and do that one in the next episode. So thanks for watching. If you're enjoying the series, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and maybe a subscribe, all of that good YouTube stuff. And I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.